Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, I should warn you that some of you may find what you are about to hear rather disturbing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Until Dawn podcast. My name is Coy, and with me is my wife, Felicia.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks. We've done good. We're recording an episode within 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
So we attended the paranormal campfire at Windyville, Missouri.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. We had a huge turnout, I felt like.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was not expecting that.
No, I mean, people just continued all night to come out. Really good experiences, I thought.
That was an event that Unknown Paranormal conducted.
Yes, it was a free event. It was kind of done as a Q&A where people could come out and ask questions if they had questions about the paranormal. And then they did an investigation at Windyville. It was all free.
And then s'mores.
And
s'mores was the best part. Right.
Yes, there was free s'mores.
And then it was just fun to meet. I met so many people and heard so many cool, crazy stories.
Yeah, it was, just meeting all the people and getting to talk with them.
It was
awesome.
kind of cool to have like a relaxed event where there wasn't tons going on and people trying to get everywhere. Everybody just hung out, ate, told stories.
Yeah, it was an interesting place too, because it wasn't too long after we got there and we were standing like in the store that I felt something like brush up against my leg, and I looked down to like pet whatever was there, and nothing was seen anywhere. So I thought that was really interesting. It was definitely a different experience.
It was cool because we weren't actually investigating at that point. We had just walked inside to grab something to eat.
Yeah, I was buying saltwater taffy.
Unfortunately, we didn't really investigate that night, but I'm kind of glad about that because it gave me the opportunity to meet so many people.
Right, yeah, we didn't do any investigating, but it was going around and talking to everybody, and definitely people that this was like their first investigation. They've never done anything before. So getting to talk to them and kind of giving them some tips and tricks.
Yeah, I really enjoy meeting people that are like just getting into the paranormal, because it kind of makes me think back to when I was at that point, and I had like lots of questions about stuff, but it wasn't so mainstream back then. Like there wasn't places to go to ask questions all the time. So I think it's cool that now those events are there so people can go and ask questions about stuff they don't understand or just get ideas.
Yeah, it was nice to see and be able to provide an environment that people could just ask whatever they wanted to ask, regardless of what it was, without any...
No judgment zone.
There you go. So I definitely say it was a lot of fun, and I really look forward to the next time we do one.
Yes.
So what else do we got coming up?
We have quite a few investigations. I would say one of the biggest is Glore. We'll be going there at the beginning of November.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting because that's our second time going there, and the last time we went there, it was really a good experience, and we had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to save all that for our episode.
That place was kind of creepy.
It was super creepy.
I think the creepiest part was probably... The morgue was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But like the Native American Museum, I didn't even go over there.
I can't remember if I did or not.
I'm not messing with that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember if I did or not.
I think you might have
probably
for a
did.
minute. Yeah.
I'm sure I did.
I'm pretty sure you and Jarred did.
Yeah, more than likely.
And I was like, no, not doing it. I don't know. Just walking over there was like, and maybe, I don't know if it was really like energy that was making me feel not with it, or if it was just in my head because, they say don't fuck with Native American stuff, right? So maybe that was it.
They may not say that in my head.
That's in my head. So maybe that's why I didn't go. I really can't remember. But I do remember I liked the doll museum because
So
dolls.
I don't remember the doll museum, so maybe I didn't go in the doll museum because those are just
I think I
creepy
probably
as hell.
went left to the dolls and you went right to the Native American.
Yeah, I'll roll the dice with that.
Right. But I'm really looking forward to that. It was actually supposed to go in September, but I had to reschedule, so it got pushed back a bit.
And I know we have submission or a suggestion, I guess, for Iowa.
Yep.
But I'm not going to say.
There.
I'm not going to say that either. Save it for the episode. I'm gonna
Sarah, she suggested it.
Yes, from Seeking the Paranormal.
Yep. They are on what?
Paranormal Buzz Radio.
Paranormal Buzz Radio, which is on Spreaker, but you can also find them on iTunes.
Yeah, you can.
And speaking of that, you were on an episode of REP Paranormal and Friends.
Yes, yeah, you can go on iTunes or Spreaker. They asked me to guest star on an episode of theirs, and I did that last Thursday-ish.
I think so.
Last Thursday or the Thursday before, one of the two.
I was really jealous because I was at work and I couldn't be on it.
And
but I listened.
And I think it turned out really good. Go give it a listen. They have a really great show.
Speaking of shows, tonight we're going to talk about, let's see, I can't remember what I called it. Was it Spooky States? I don't remember.
I don't either.
So I'm going to call it Spooky States tonight.
Okay.
Our Spooky States.
So we have another episode of that. But first, let's dive into some spooky scoops.
You've heard of this big cat that's supposed to be around? Of course. Some say it's a puma. Others a giant ape. And still others say it's the sukara. A sukara? It's a new kind of animal to me. That's a famous jungle demon. It tears living animals to shreds with its claws and then feeds upon them. Has been known to attack humans also. Hasn't so far, I hope. No. But I'm sure it will.
Alright, so this week for Spooky Scoops, my story comes from Mysterious Universe. And if you listen to last week's episode, this is kind of like part 2 of that. It says, headlines, wait is finally over. Scientists reveal the findings on their Loch Ness Monster. And, like I said, if you listened last week...
Is this the DNA?
Yes.
Okay.
So the scientists that collected all the water samples and was extracting the DNA from them, unfortunately said that there is no, ancient Plesiosaurus or some sort of other sea monster. But interestingly, though, they did find a significant amount of eel DNA, and that the eels are very plentiful in Loch Ness, with the eel DNA being found in almost every sample. So that's kind of interesting.
Is it though?
Yeah.
It's just an eel. So.
But the fact is that it could be a gigantic eel. And that's one of the things that the scientists did say. Gimel was quoted as saying, "Therefore, we can't discount the possibility that what people have been seeing in Loch Ness might be a giant eel." And then there's been eels spotted in there that were the size of people's thighs, almost 4 meters in size. So, unfortunately, as of right now, it may be just a giant eel. But I'm not going to rule anything out.
That's like super disappointing to me. I was hoping that there would, I don't know, something more exciting than an eel.
Well, it's a giant eel. Well, eels come in, of course, eels come in all different sizes.
I know nothing about eels.
I mean, some of them have been, huge, like the size of people's thighs.
Yeah, but whose thigh? Like my thigh or like your thigh?
I'd say just, a large thigh. Normal sort of human thigh was pretty, around circumference-wise.
I guess. I don't know. I was just hoping for something exciting.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that were hoping for something more exciting, but as of right now, that's what, at least people are still looking into it in a scientific manner.
That's true, because that's what's important.
Right.
All right, so
what do you got for us?
So I don't have a story, but I seen this a long time ago, and I thought, I came across it again, so I thought, I'm going to try this. And what it was talking about, I've seen it multiple times, about negative energy and how you can catch it in a glass.
This kind of sounds like searching for the Loch Ness Monster.
So I have everything here. It's like paranormal arts and crafts, right? So I thought we're going to try this.
So you have a glass.
So I have a glass.
What else do you
It's
have?
like a mason jar. And I'll get a picture of this. And then what you're going to do, use 1/3 sea salt, 1/3 a cup, 1/3 a cup of vinegar, and 1/3 a cup of water. Okay? So let me do that.
So we're going to do this live.
We're doing this live. I don't know. I feel like we need music. That's me putting the sea salt in the cup. Okay. Pick
So
those up. I dropped a couple pieces.
I guess without the visual of this, though,
Right.
it kind of makes
Oh,
it...
wait. Should I take pictures? You want to take pictures as I do it for Facebook?
Well, we can... I'll narrate it.
Okay. You be the narrator.
So you poured the sea salt into the mason jar.
So I'm going to shake it up.
And you're shaking
That was
it
a
up.
perfect amount of sea salt, by the way.
Well, that's good.
Now we have clear white vinegar.
Yep, just normal.
I
Bought
think
at the
clear
Family Dollar.
vinegar is not the correct term, but I don't
It's white.
cook,
It's white vinegar.
so I call it clear
Don't
vinegar.
spill it.
I spilt a little. All right, now we're gonna pour this in.
Okay. So you poured that in there with the sea
Sounds
salt.
So good. Good drink. All right, and now we're gonna do 1/3 a cup of water.
Okay.
Clean, white water,
That'd be just tap water.
tap water. All right,
That's a little more than a third.
all right. Let me pour a little out
Oh, really?
onto the table. So now 1/3 a cup of water is going in.
All right. So you just poured water in there.
Right.
Now what?
All right. Now, I figured we'd leave it in the office because...
Wait. So nothing's gonna happen right now?
No.
This is disappointing.
You thought you had to drink it, didn't you?
This
You
sounds
thought
like-
it was like a colon cleanse.
I know.
So I figured we'd leave it in the office because in the office we have Ouija boards, we have tarot cards, we have a shark in a jar, we have my creepy dolls, we have my black scry mirror. If there's negative energy, I'm never in the office. You're always in the office. So if there's negative energy, it's going to be in here.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to put it, where should I place
do you need
it?
to like stir it,
No, we're leaving it.
or we're gonna just leave it? So I guess
And
this.
where should I place this?
I don't care.
Would I put it by a Ouija board or would I put it
Let's
by
put it over far away,
shark in a jar?
further away from expensive stuff. So over there by shark in a jar
Okay, it'll be by shark in a jar and my creepy dolls.
and the
And
dowsing
my
rods.
dowsing rods.
Now is the sage.
Aren't these things that everybody has in their office?
Now is the sage
Oh, is
gonna
the sage gonna affect it?
right? So do you need to move the sage?
Why don't we place it by the voodoo doll and the 1940s Ouija board?
Because it's not really very easily replaceable. So let's put it over there.
Okay, I'm gonna move the sage.
Okay.
We have a lot of sage.
Well, we probably need a lot of sage.
Alright, let's move the sage.
Okay, so we moved that there. Okay. So I guess this will be something we'll revisit. How long do we have to wait?
24 hours.
In 24 hours? Oh, so
So tomorrow, about 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
we'll have to stay
Get a
tuned,
picture of it by the shark in a jar.
and we can revisit this on the next episode.
Yeah. Let me get a really quick.
So we're getting a picture of it.
So I think that's how you're supposed to do it. And then tomorrow we're gonna look if there's bubbles
If there's bubbles,
or
like foam, or if it bubbles.
I think bubbles, like a cauldron. Wait, let me see. Okay, so if there's bubbles or like
I can't. No,
stuff
but
coming
I
up, I don't know,
can't- It means
like strings coming up,
okay.
that's negative energy and it's been trapped in there.
So the bubbles are negative energy, and the
Yes.
strings are negative energy.
Yeah, like pretty much any type of disturbance. If it's still like it looks right now,
Uh huh.
then we're good.
We're good.
But if we see things in it, we're bad.
So if there's floaters, floaters are
Gross.
bad. Regular clear water is good. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna check it tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. And then we'll.
But the good thing is, if there is stuff in it, that means we have trapped the energy and we just have to flush it down the toilet.
Oh, there you go. DIY.
Right, and then it'll be
paranormal
like
DIY.
the Ninja Turtles, right? What made them Ninja Turtles?
That was the ooze.
So it'll be the ooze, the negative ooze from our office.
Well, let's hope not.
We'll
Maybe we don't. Maybe we want to go
Turtles.
dump that in someone else. Like maybe dump that in the neighbor's yard.
Oh yeah, she's evil.
I don't necessarily want to put negative energy down the toilet. Figure that.
I think you do that every day.
That's gonna be like leading to a plumber.
So, all right, we're gonna see what happens.
All right, so yeah.
See, that's so much more exciting than spooky scoops, right?
I don't know.
We should just start paranormal
It's
crafts.
no giant eel, but
But it is next to a baby shark,
yeah.
which I'm not saying I did not buy that shark.
No, that shark was a gift.
That was a gift to us. So
Yeah.
before people say something. So, all right.
All right. Well, I think that's it for Spooky Scoops. Let's dive into our main topic tonight, which is going to be the Alaska Triangle. Stay tuned.
A sudden draft from a window that was supposed to have been closed. A chill at the back of the neck. Groans, creaks, and bumps in the night. Man has always been frightened by the dark. Troubled by noises just beyond the reach of lights. Occurrences just beyond the reach of understanding.
Okay, so for our spooky states, right?
That's what we're going with.
That's what I'm going with. We're up to Alaska. Just not that far in, our second state.
Right.
Seems like so long though. And we thought about a few different things, but we decided to go with the Alaska Triangle.
Correct.
Also known as the Alaskan Bermuda Triangle. Also known as the Alaskan Vortex.
Yes. That's only three I came up. Well, the most
Right.
popular three.
Okay.
There's other nonsense, but...
All right. So I will turn that over to you. Let you start.
So the Alaskan Triangle connects the state's largest city of Anchorage in the south to, I'm going to mess this up and probably mess up any other name tonight within this episode, Juneau. Yeah, see, I definitely would not have gotten that. In the southeast, Panhandle to Barrow, I got that one, a small town at the state's north coast. So it's a very large...
It covers, I would say, a good portion of Alaska.
Right.
I'll upload a picture of it, actually, to our Facebook page. Now, it is a extremely remote area. I don't know. Have you ever been to Alaska?
No, I've never been to Alaska.
For some reason,
It's
I was
cold
thinking the Army had sent you there. Anyway, I would have loved to have been stationed there. I think.
You hate the cold.
I hate the cold,
You
but
hate living
everyone
here.
says it's a different cold. It's like
As
a
soon as
dry
winter
cold.
comes.
This is a wet cold. I know that sounds crazy, but there really is a difference. I learned in Arizona. So there's like an extremely large amount of like remote wilderness. I believe that it was like around 57 million acres of it was designated as federally protective during the 1964 Wilderness Act.
So that makes it to where it's more rural. There's not, it's not developed.
Pretty much untouched by humans, which is insane. That's such a large amount of land. But that's good. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that there's that much
Right.
area out there that's just completely undeveloped, untouched.
Kind of want to go there and see it. Kind of don't want to.
After doing the research for this, I'm gonna go ahead and
Probably
say
not.
no.
I have friends that go up there to hunt, and I kind of want to be that crazy friend that texts them like, "Dude, don't go back, because you're gonna disappear, man."
Right. And speaking of disappearances, use my words tonight. That kind of leads into why so many people have kind of considered this to be the, Bermuda Triangle of the Northwest, hence the name Alaska Triangle. And it's said since the 1988, there's been a staggering 16,000 people that have vanished in the so-called Alaska Triangle.
And I saw an update to that, a story I just read. It was put out last week, and it said that it's up to like 20,000 that have disappeared in the last 50 years. 20,000.
Right. That's a staggering.
I grew up in a
number.
town of 500 people, which I know is small, but 20,000, that's crazy.
Right. And then, according to authorities, disappearances are due to completely different reasons, of course. But this is what the authorities are saying that's the reason for this happening. And statistically, I cannot talk tonight. Alaska has more annual missing people than reports than anywhere else in the country, twice the national average. It is also the highest number of missing people who are never found, which kind of goes into the whole Alaska Triangle, the ruralness of it.
2007, I think, was one of the highest numbers, and there was 2,833 people reported missing.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
It also states that this is an average, but in any given year, 500 to 2,000 people go missing in Alaska and are never seen again.
Does that make you want to go?
No.
Wait, does that make you want to take me?
No.
Good answer. So it's not just like people randomly disappearing.
Right,
like you go out in the woods, I never see you again. It's like planes disappear, ships disappear, and then of course the hikers and tourists, even locals, disappear.
Right.
And it's not like missing for a little bit, like never seen again.
I know some of the most well-known cases that kind of made national and even world news. In 1950, a military craft with 44 passengers disappeared without a trace.
Yes.
In addition to that, a Cessna 340 with a pilot and four passengers also disappeared in 1990 and were never seen again.
I think the most notable was in 1972. It was a private plane. It was carrying U.S. Majority Leader Hal Boggs, Alaska Congressman Nick.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Is it
Begich,
Begich?
I guess.
And his aide, Russell Brown, and then the pilot. It disappeared. For 39 days, over 100 civilian and military planes, dozens of boats all searched the area, a 32,000-mile radius, and they never found anything.
Right. And
no wreckage, no debris, no human remains, just vanished.
Right. And they were traveling from Anchorage to Juneau. So they were traveling, pretty much right along the stretch of what is called the Alaska Triangle. They even used the SR-71 Blackbird to comb over the area.
I have no clue what that is.
Right.
But it sounds cool.
It is cool. And so, this was a very large, these are, very well-known, politicians. So kind of leads you to think that could happen to anybody.
So what are things that have been blamed for
The Alaska Triangle?
Yeah.
One theory is, and this has kind of been long associated with the evil spirits and the lore of the native, and I'm sorry because I'm definitely going to butcher this. The Tlingit. Tlingit.
It's pronounced Tlingit.
Okay, there we go. So the Tlingit people of that region, with one of the notorious entities, the Kushtaka, a shape-shifting demon that is said to look like a cross between, this is the best thing ever, between a man and an otter. So it's an otter man. So
the Kushtaka, reading over the description, a lot of it kind of sounded very Bigfoot-ish, but there was a lot of things that were different. It's said to be a shapeshifter, so it can change itself into either a human form or another animal, which opens up a big realm of possibility. Because, at that point, anything could be a Kushtaka. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So one legend says that if you say Kushtaka 3 times, and I've said it 6 now, so we'll see, it will shapeshift into a deceased loved one to lure you toward the water. I know that took a lot. Once you get down to the water, it will either drown you, shred you to pieces, but either way, it will convert you into a Kushtaka. The behavior of them varies. Sometimes they are described as cruel and terrifying creatures that shapeshift and like lure you to your death. Why can't I say that word? Lure. I say lure, it's lure.
It's lure.
Lure you to their death. Okay. Other times described as friendly and helpful, saving people that are lost from freezing and or starving to death. They do this by tricking them into thinking they are friends or family. So that'd be like shape-shifting into like your mom. But then they end up killing you or transforming you into a Kushtaka. And from what I was seeing, the reason they do this is to prevent you from reincarnating. So I'm thinking that the Klingit, their religion or whatever, relies on the thought of reincarnation. They have been known to mimic crying women or babies, and they'll lure people down to the river, and they will drown them there.
That's really interesting.
It sounds like a good way for moms to scare kids into sticking close to them, right?
Right, and not be playing around there by the river.
Right. But isn't that what a lot of folklore is? Moms scaring kids.
Hopefully. So another theory is that the Alaska Triangle is comprised of one of the areas that is said to have extreme amounts of electromagnetic anomalies, also known as just energy vortexes. They're also called ley lines, which consists of subterranean electromagnetic currents. But these energy vortexes are thought to be swirling centers of energy concentrated in specific places where the energy is more intense.
So an energy vortex or ley line, they are thought to create like strange phenomena in humans. I wonder about animals too.
I'm sure that does.
Surely. Such as physical, mental, and emotional things. People may see visions or thinking one has miraculous healing powers. Thinking that you may like tap into your higher self. So pretty much like I don't know the word, like
enlightened?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. It's said to induce disorientation, confusion, visual and audio hallucinations. But also, as even outside of like the human thing, as far as like electronics go and stuff, they can actually cause those to go kind of haywire and not work correctly. Some believe that a vortex is like a doorway into a spiritual dimension or a gateway into other dimensions, which would be where like a Bigfoot being an interdimensional being falls in. Now, if it was in fact an interdimensional thing, that could explain where the ships and the planes go.
Right.
Off with Bigfoot.
So I did see that some people believe that there's actually, positive and negative vortexes as well. And how this energy flows, either clockwise motion for enhancing flow of energy, or counterclockwise for a draining and depleting source of energy. And people believe that certain locations around the world actually are considered positive vortexes, like the Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, the Sedona Desert, and then other sacred temples and cathedrals around the world. And then on the flip side of that, places like the Bermuda Triangle, Japan's Devil Sea, Easter Island are all considered to be negative vortexes. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but also kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Convenient?
Boring?
No, I wasn't going to say boring. But, these negative vortexes, a lot of the symptoms and stuff that people have stated about the Alaska Triangle, the disorientation, nightmares, visual and audio hallucinations. So that all kind of correlates with what everyone's been saying about the Alaska Triangle.
Right. There's a few things that I won't say supports, but kind of leads toward the vortex. And that is, one, Alaska is covered by a large concentration of ley lines. Compasses are really affected in that area. They could be off by like 30 degrees. And also search and rescue workers, they've reported audio hallucinations. They describe them as hearing what sounds like a swarm of bees, and then feeling unusually disoriented and lightheaded while in the area. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of supports what, everybody else is saying. And
But what I'm thinking that it actually would be geography, location, and just the fact that it's like the Alaskan wilderness.
Right. I mean, it's like you said at the beginning of the show, it's a huge rural area that's undeveloped, that most people are not going to be accustomed to traversing in any way.
They say there's huge glaciers with like giant holes in them. Like, I don't even know what a glacier is.
What?
I hate to say that. I don't know what a glacier is. That's like, what? Do you know what a glacier is? In my head, it's like like Titanic?
Yes, like
okay.
Titanic.
Never mind. I do know what a glacier is. So they have like giant holes, hidden caves, and crevices like the size of buildings. So if somebody fell into that,
Right.
flew into that, impossible to find them. The weather, there's like sudden, heavy, very heavy snowstorms and blizzards. So they can like quickly bury bodies, planes. Or even if they don't do that, they will like cover any trace of a person.
Right. I did see in one story where a theory on, I don't remember exactly which plane crash it was, but that they actually flew into the side of a glacier, or it was either a glacier or a mountain-esque area, and actually caused an immediate avalanche.
Wait, was this a real movie?
No, this is like a theory on what happened.
Oh
when
god,
the plane
okay,
crashes.
wait. Sorry. I was like, who the hell would do that? Sorry, go ahead.
And so, in doing so, crashing into the side of the mountain or the glacier, whichever, actually caused an immediate avalanche and covered the plane, and that's why it was never found.
Right. Beyond just the weather, I mean, wild animals.
Right. Bear attacks, wolves.
Krusticas.
Exactly.
So, the thought of being attacked by an animal is not exciting for me.
I would imagine it's exciting for anybody.
There's probably that one weirdo, though. But this pretty much has made me not want to go to Alaska now.
Right.
I do have our son's nurse just moved up there. So I'm going to have to question her now about if she sees anything or what kind of things she hears about it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to kind of get that firsthand.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on it?
It's extremely interesting. I mean, there's so many factors, because there's nothing saying that the Alaskan Triangle necessarily has to be supernatural. I mean, given its location, that's almost enough in itself. The ruralness of it, it's so large that, can make up the triangle itself. But all these the energy vortex definitely, I think, plays a factor in that. I think it's kind of a little bit of everything.
Right.
Makes it
It's
up.
just such a large area of Alaska. So I don't know. I feel like if you take which I know it's like the highest number of missing or whatever, but if you take an area that large, you're going to have that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like looking at a map, I mean, it's just like, there's just like a little corners left out.
right. I mean, it almost covers the state of Alaska.
Right.
So, I mean, with almost like 20,000 people missing since
Like in the last 50 years.
the last 50 years. So, I mean, that right there, I mean, that's something. I mean, you definitely can't say there's nothing there or there's nothing
Right.
to this. There's, 20,000 people missing. Now, what's the cause of that? That's kind of what we're left with. So, I definitely think there's something to it. I just don't know what it is.
I think it's environment. I think it's like not prepared people going out into the Alaskan outback. Is that a thing? Out into the Alaskan wilderness.
Right.
That's what I think. I think it's unprepared people that are going out, and then people, they aren't able to search for them like they need to.
Because of the environment, because they can't get to them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting. I mean,
I was interested. I had no clue. Like, when we started this, I had no idea how many people were missing. Like, I thought it would be a much smaller number. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of fascinating. And I don't ever want to go to Alaska now.
right. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of in the same boat. I had heard of the Bermuda Triangle, but I had not heard of the Alaskan Triangle.
Right.
So this is really interesting. Great addition to our spooky states.
Right.
And
I think that about covers it.
I think that does. All right. So with that being said, please go rate and review us on iTunes. That's like probably one of the biggest ways between just telling people about the podcast to actually, really help the podcast.
Right.
Help. It makes it easier for people to find us.
I feel like we haven't had one in like 3 months.
Right.
We're due.
Right. Yeah. You should feel
You-
very bad about that.
No. Not nice.
But yeah, go. If you feel so inclined, go do that. If you want to get in touch with us, how can they do that?
They can email us at untildawnpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Until Dawn Podcast.
Yep.
And then you can call us or leave a message, and our phone number is
913-703-3296. And yeah, you can call, leave a message if you'd like, and we'll play it on the show.
text.
Or yeah, you can just give us a text message and we'll read it on the show.
Yep.
Anything else?
Nope. Nothing else.
What's going on with our jar? Anything?
Nothing's happened yet.
No black
which
ooze
I
or
felt like there would be a lot of negative energy
like-
while recording.
demon faces or anything?
Wait, let me look up close.
Don't look too close. That's how they get you.
Nothing.
Nothing yet?
There's
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm Coy,
I'm Felicia.
and this is Until Dawn.